I still remember that eventful summer when I was 15. My family decided to visit our second house in the serene woods of Colorado. This was supposed to be a peaceful getaway, but little did we know, we were about to confront something very truly sinister. It was on the second night of our stay. My parents had to leave for a brief emergency, leaving my older sister and me alone in this big, secluded cabin. As darkness descended on the forest, at around dusk, we heard a sound that chilled our bones to the core. We heard the spine-tingling sound of a woman's terrifying screams, echoing from the woods outside our window. The eerie cries were mixed with what sounded like cackles. And we couldn't comprehend what horror of a situation must have been unfolding beyond the trees. A strong sense of terror gripped us. We tried to convince ourselves that it was just some animal. Or, I don't know, maybe a prankster. But deep down, we knew this was no ordinary occurrence. The relentless screams stopped after we woke up when my parents returned the next day. Me and my sister Rachel kept the windows locked all night, but the haunting, chilling sounds seeped into our dreams, leaving us sleepless and anxious. The situation worsened as days went on. The chilling screams started happening even during daylight, sending shivers down our spines. Each time we searched for the source, the forest remained an impenetrable enigma, with no answers. Things took a horrifying turn on the fourth day. My parents had left again to meet some friends, as they were not nearly as worried as me and Rachel were, leaving us to potentially face this thing alone. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the forest echoed with those haunting cries again, now accompanied by an ominous presence, what looked like a figure lurking in the shadows. A shadow figure, thicker than the dark of the night. We both got really quiet, and we huddled together, trying to ward off the fear that threatened to engulf us whole. But then, the impossible happened, more horrifying than anything that ever happened to me before in my life. We heard what sounded like a mix of a person and creature, or something, that broke into our home, shattering the kitchen door glass window. We heard its blood-curdling scream like never before, bounce off the walls of our home. It turned into these, what I can only describe as cackles, sounding less and less human. It then went from unnatural stillness to moving with unnatural speed, closing the distance between us in mere seconds. It was outside our bedroom door. My heart pounded like a drum, and my mind screamed at me to run. I couldn't breathe or even think. So without thinking, I grabbed my sister's hand, shoved my dresser against the door, and we sat together waiting to hear anything else. We heard a scratching sound and a low groan. This nightmarish entity then began laughing, its malevolent laughter reverberating through the walls. My breaths were light, and my legs were numb. We sat there, listening in absolute fear, until eventually, after what must have been an hour, it stopped. We saw the headlights from our parents' car shine through the window. I think it must have heard them coming. We heard it scurry and scramble through the house, back down the stairs, and out the glass door it came through. We screamed for help to our parents. When they walked inside, they were alarmed at what they had seen. Gasping for breath, we tried to explain what we had just been through and witnessed. We said they needed to call the cops immediately. They didn't believe it was some monster or whatever, like we described. They still to this day think it was some creep stranger wild man that broke in. They couldn't fathom the malevolent force that had invaded our once peaceful sanctuary of a home in the woods. In the years that followed, we tried to suppress the memories of that dreadful summer, hoping it was all just a bad dream. But in our hearts, we knew the truth. We had the evidence. Something malevolent had lurked within those woods. Something inexplicably evil. Something utterly horrifying. Now, years later, the haunting echoes of that summer still haunt my dreams, leaving me with a lingering fear of the unknown. I have nightmares often from the PTSD of it. I can only pray that whatever dark entity we encountered that night remains confined within the depths of the Colorado woods, never to cross paths with humanity again.